Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and we didn't get Heresy Thursday, but we did get Heresy Valentine's Day. Ah, isn't that cute? They decided to give us the greatest love story in all of the Horus Heresy. It's Angron and Latara Sarin. Great. So, yeah, Angron gets his ascended model, his demon model for the 30k, and yet again this is a duplicate of a model we really didn't need. The model is a Forge World Demon model. It's a Primarch model, it's much bigger, the level of detail is quite insane. I think aesthetically many of the choices are terrible. I think the sculpting itself is mediocre. I think that the model is not particularly great, if I'm going to be brutally honest. I like the fact that his armour ties him in nicely with his 30k pre-demon version, and that's about as close as it gets. I think that most of everything else about him is inferior in any way, shape or form. The model is huge. It's going to be a giant pain in the backside to transport anywhere. It's one of those models that I think is just overly detailed for the sake of being overly detailed. And yeah, I just generally think that this model is one we didn't need. One that could have been a much later addition to the range. And one that really, I don't know, I think it just doesn't have the soul that a lot of Forge World models usually have. World Eaters are missing both Praetors. They have no... what was it I worked out? £127.50, I think it was, to make a 20-man unit arm with chain axes and bolt pistols, if you buy legitimate from Forge World and from Games Workshop. That's using the same arms that come in the regular plastic Mark III or Mark VI box set. If you wanted melee type arms, that means you have to buy the melee upgrade set. That's another 30 quid, I think, on top of it. That's not including the iconic bunny ears helmets, which would be another, I think, £30 for 2 sets. I don't know many people who can basically pay, well, half of a second-hand car for a 20-man squad, when your basic troop choices are costing as much as some people pay in rent. It's a little bit stupid. Now, obviously, if we use China into the equation, it becomes a lot cheaper. But the World Eaters as a faction are identified primarily by their bunny ear helmets, their love of chain axes, and large amounts of very angry infantry racing towards you. Not every army will want to have Demon Angron. I just feel that a lot of the choices coming out of this studio are poorly thought out. A plastic chain axe set with 10 chain axes and 10 bolt pistols, that sort of thing, and 10 bunny ear helmets and a couple of bear heads as a World Eaters veteran upgrade set in plastic would have sold better, in my opinion, than this guy will. Now, I know that the plastic injection moulding will require a greater initial cost than a resin kit, but I also feel that it would probably pay itself off much faster, seeing as nigh on every legion can actually take a unit that can take a chain axe at some point, even if it is just a character. I also know that a lot of people would start World Eater armies because of an access to things like plastic chain axes. This model is designed for a certain type of person. This is not a model designed for the majority. It's not designed for all World Eaters players to have. It just simply isn't. You know, the majority of standard 40k and 30k players are not going to be able to paint to a level that will make this model worth it. This will discourage people from buying expensive models and will ultimately just end up with them wanting to leave the hobby. You know, people get their poor results, they get angry, they leave. And let's have a look at Latara Sarin. Now, Latara Sarin is one of those characters that it's almost like they try too hard to make them cool. And as a throwaway character, she's kind of okay. You know, she's the mistress of her ship, where, you know, her word is law, and she doesn't take shit from anyone. However, in reality, if she was to backchat a, you know, hyped up World Eater, she's just going to get broken in half before he knows what he's doing. This model I don't like. I think that the face is badly sculpted. I think the painting is terrible. I think the skin tone is all wrong. Why does she look like she has the butcher's nails? She is not depicted in any way that we have ever seen her depicted before. Her marble sculpture in the Siege of Terror books is quite clear on what her appearance is. And yeah, she just doesn't look great. There are two bits on the model I quite like. That is her empty hand, because I like the way the fingers are bent. It's a good hand. I could find many uses for that hand on different models. And I like the shin armour she has and how it comes up into the World Eater's logo on the knees. But all in all, I think the rest of the model is just kind of mid. And frankly, again, so unbelievably low on the priorities list. If you could have told me, hey, you could have had the World Eater's Praetors, or, you know, Latara Sarin, I wouldn't have even put her on the list. I would have said, hey, you can keep a Latara Sarin model forever and just give us other things. Now, I know some people will like her, and that's absolutely fine. You are entitled to that opinion. And I just think that as a model for a war game, she is not particularly useful. This should have been the sort of model that you get for the Black Library releases. That I would have supported wholeheartedly instead of the second version of Mika Linsk, or whatever her name is. If we'd got this instead, yeah, I would have been like, oh, that's really cool. That's great. Didn't see that coming. But it's not. So now I'm supposed to, you know, believe that actually Latara Sarin is going to have any sort of use on the battlefield, even though they say that she's, you know, most useful in Zone Mortalis. That's great. She's a baseline human on board a starship getting boarded by Space Marines. She's getting turned into Swiss cheese. Greasy Swiss cheese all over a bulkhead. She's not a mortal character that should be in combat, per se. Should she be a special character if you ever did a Battlefleet Heresy game? Absolutely. Captain, you know, give me the option to choose the captains of my ship, give her the Conqueror, she becomes the captain of the Conqueror and gives it all sorts of cool special rules and makes it really dangerous. Love it. Absolutely love it. Very much like X-Wing, where you chose the fighter and you chose the pilot who was flying it, and they changed the rules. Brilliant. Perfect. Absolutely her wheelhouse. But on a battlefield where Angry Ron is going to be running around, I think it's one of the silliest things I've ever seen. And yeah, I just think this is studio mismanagement. Personally, I don't have any particular issues with the model other than aesthetic ones, but I don't think it's the right release at the right time. You look at the comments and people are always saying, hey, when are we getting plastic breaches? When are we getting plastic recon marines? When are we getting plastic outriders? When are we getting a javelin speeder? Etc, etc, etc. And those are all things people want. When are we getting Praetors for the Iron Warriors, the Salamanders, the Raven Guard for the World Eaters? We haven't got any of these yet. Why not? Yeah. Not a big fan. Not a big fan at all. I think it's just silly. I won't be purchasing this, I don't think. I don't think I'd be purchasing this from China at all. I think that Latara is probably a better model, has more uses, and will probably find itself being used in militia forces. But yeah. Yeah, nothing special. Which is a pity. It is a pity. It would have also been nice to have seen something on the Old World Almanac on Thursday that just said, hey, don't worry about Heresy Thursday, we have a Heresy announcement coming tomorrow. Look, as I said, it's £127.50 to build a 20-man World Eaters squad, equipped how they're supposed to be. It's £200 plus if you want to do it how aesthetically they're supposed to be, if we include helmets, shoulder pads, etc. Games Workshop doesn't owe us anything on Heresy Thursday. We don't pay for it, but they do owe us in the sense that we are partaking in an incredibly expensive hobby. And if they want us to take part in the manner that they are kind of implying, and not just doing the bare minimum, it would cost them so little to actually treat the community with a little respect. But that's a whole different video. My name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. I hope you guys enjoyed this release. I hope you're all super happy for this. I really genuinely do. I really hope that everyone is really hyped for this model. I hope that it is the greatest release for the year for you, and that you are chuffed to bits, as my dad would say. Because I'm not, unfortunately. But I do genuinely wish that you all have a great hobby experience. If you'd like to support the channel, a comment is free. Liking, subscribing, they cost you nothing. If you'd like to come and join the conversation, you can ask for a Discord link and I will post you a fresh one. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, I'm a bit run down again, guys. I'm still not 100%, so I'm a little bit out of it today. Have a great weekend. I hope you have a nice relaxing couple of days. Unless you are working, then I'm truly sorry for you. And I wish you the best. Have a great day, and if you've been celebrating Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. Have a great day. Bye-bye.